What's up, everybody? Tim Stoddard, StodzyMedia.com. This is episode 46. Welcome to Stodzyland. Today, I'm going to give you guys some real line item tactical tips so that you can get backlinks. I've talked a lot in previous videos about the importance of backlinks with SEO and with ranking your website in Google and other search engines, but actually getting those backlinks is a completely different story. I'll start off by saying that this is probably where we as a company focus a huge majority of our resources, of our own work that we do internally for our clients, because it's the hardest thing to do. There's no real set formula to do it. There's a lot of problem solving involved, and there's a lot of just kind of making it happen. But the reason why we do this is because it's hard, and because most other companies, especially agencies, don't want to spend the time to do it. And so this is our leverage above them, and this can absolutely be your leverage above your competition in whatever industry that you're working in. If you can spend the time to get backlinks and really make it happen, promise you, your site will rank organically, and you're just going to crush anybody else that you're working against. So with that, let's get started. This one, you know what, number one should really you could summarize everything with this right here. This is how we get the majority of our backlinks. It's old-fashioned. You know, there's not a bunch of charts and analytics and fancy buzzwords around it. It's just real good networking. The more people you know, and more importantly than that, the more people who you can provide value to, the more opportunities you're going to have to get backlinks. So for me, this is why I'm a member of the Boca Chamber of Commerce. It's why I take meetings with every single person that asks me. It's why I always invite people over here to see how I can help them. You build relationships, you collect business cards, you call people, you get coffee dates. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it has to be genuine. Eventually, you're going to find a way where you can serve this person, and in return, you can they can probably reciprocate with the backlink. And even if they say yes, you're still gonna have to earn it. So most likely, I'm gonna end up spending the money or putting in the work to write the actual content that's gonna get guest posted on this other person's website. This is kind of a tough one to run through, because even when I hire new guys, there's a learning curve where you have to teach them how to really be genuine and help people and provide value to people without necessarily looking for something in return. You just build the relationships and you look for an opportunity where you can help them, and in exchange get a backlink. So I could do a whole entire whiteboard video about just building relationships and how I do it. The point I'm trying to make is that if the rest of this stuff seems like a headache to you, you're going to be fine right here. Twitter, email, phone calls, networking events, all of this counts. Get to know as many people as you can and really get to know them and find out how you can work together and how you can help them as well. It'll just come. The links will come. I really guarantee that one. So any questions or any more advice on building relationships to get links, definitely send me an email. It'll be at the end of the video. So number two, this is where we can get into a little bit more of the technical stuff. Your competitors' websites, you can scan their backlinks to see what domains they're getting links from. So some tools to be able to do that. This is the one we use right here. That's a really terrible check mark. SEMrush. Open Site Explorer, I'm pretty sure this one's free. I think this is Maz's tool. Actually, I think it's free up to a certain number of results. Don't hold me to that, but I know that you can get some information there for free. Majestic SEO, I've honestly never used this one, but I've heard some positive things about it. This is the one that we use, like I said, SEMrush. So if you can scan your competitors' backlinks, you can see what pages they're on, maybe find out who to reach out to try to get that link as well. Mentions into links. So I've experimented with this. I've had some success with it. Personally, I found that the time I was paying attention to the mentions, I could have just been paying attention to meeting new people and building relationships, but that's just me. That's kind of what I'm good at. I'm good at interacting with people. So this isn't my favorite, but I put it number 3 because I know a ton of people that do this and do it really well. So simply put, there's a tool that Google has. I think it's called Google Mentions. I'll put it in the description of the video. I don't know if that's exactly what it's called. I think it is. But anytime your company name is mentioned in Google anywhere, Google will let you know. And you can see that mention. You can reach out to the website or the publication that mentioned you and said, hey, I saw that you mentioned my company in this article. Wow, thanks so much. That's really great. Would you be willing to link back to my website where you mentioned me? Most times they will. Sometimes they won't. Either way, it's good to know that they're coming. All right. Content farm sites. This is what I call them. It's probably not the best term for it because content farms are a little bit more of like a black hat tactic, but I call them this just because it makes sense to me. So websites that are just huge indexes of content, a lot of times allow people to create their own profiles, like a Web 2.0 platform, and create content on the site themselves. So some examples of this are Lifehack, lifehack.org, I think it is. BuzzFeed obviously is one. You can create your own profile in BuzzFeed and you can publish content on there. I mean, there's a million of them. The Huffington Post, I think you can do it. With these sites, though, you have to be careful. Most of them will give you no follow links. I still think it's important because a link is still a good signal to Google, and it's still a way to get your brand out there. It's still a way to get referral traffic, but with these huge websites like this, they have to kind of block off the authority being passed from their site to your site. So if it's a no follow link, what that means is that the page rank isn't actually going to pass through. So it's not going to help you in your organic rankings through Google, but there still is value, especially because a lot of times these articles can get like tens of thousands, 20s of thousands of shares. So it can really expand your reach. But just know that going in. If you're looking to write content on these sites to help your SEO, know that it's not going to come through the PageRank being passed through that link itself. It's going to come like indirectly. And finally, this is my least favorite tactic because it happens to me every day. And every time I get these emails, I just ignore them. With that being said, if you do it right, it can work. So here's the gist. Somebody emails me and they say, hi, my name is whatever. I really loved your article. And then they'll insert a link to the article. And then they'll say, I noticed that you sourced this page. Well, I have a page that I think is a better source. Do you think you could swap out the links? Sometimes it even makes sense to swap those links out, but it's just the fact that I know that these emails are written either by like a machine or they're just pumped out like hundreds at a time or thousands at a time. I just completely ignore them. So I put here, don't be a weenie, because if you do it right and you take this approach and you find other publications that are applicable to link back to you, you can do it right and you can provide value and you can build a relationship and then come back to say, hey, look at all this stuff I've done. We've done some really great work together. I was looking at this web page. Do you think you could exchange these links out? And if somebody did that to me, there'd be a much better chance that I would actually do that favor for them. But when they just send these spam emails and it's kind of generic and you feel like, you feel like a robot probably wrote the text, I just completely ignore it. So I put it up there. Find relevant pages that could use your link because it does work and it is effective. But it's only effective if you do it the right way, which is through genuine relationships. Any questions, guys? Right down here, tim@stodzy.com. We got through this one really short. If anybody else has some suggestions or some other link building tactics that they use, this is simply what I do. This is what my team does. We do it real old-fashioned. We do it through meeting people and building relationships. But I know that everybody has different ways of doing things, and I'm more than excited to hear about them. So thank you so much for your time, for your attention. Talk to you next time. Peace.